Indy 11 Soccer is brought to you by Community Health, exceptional care simply delivered. Community Health Network. By Honda, proud to be the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. By Turkish Airlines, widen your world. And by The Room Place, get it all at The Room Place. This gauntlet stretch of matches for the Indy 11 is about to end. They have a 7-day break before they play again. They want to hit that breather with the full 3 points. Starting lineups for the Indy 11 presented by Honda Manufacturers of Indiana, official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11, and a new front trio from Saturday's game against the Richmond Kickers. Eugene Starikoff, Elliot Collier gets just his second start with the club, and Seth Moses has been out due to injury in each of the last 2 matches.
We've seen enough in Elliot over these last couple weeks to recognize that he's got talent, he's got pace, and he's going to be a tough matchup. So it's good to see him get a start here.
And for the New York Red Bulls, too, the guy to look for, midfielder Andrew Tanari. He leads them in minutes played and matches played as well. Hassan Ndam, the defender, wearing the captain's armband for Red Bulls 2 this evening. You see Andrew Tanari from Holbrook, New York. This Red Bulls 2 as a second side. They have a kind of variety of different players on different paths, whether it's guys signed to a USL contract, players signed to the parent club contract with the Red Bulls, academy players and the like, but a little bit different than what we have seen from, say, Atlanta United 2 or Toronto FC 2. This is the 4th year for Red Bulls 2. They have made the playoffs each of the previous 3 seasons, and they won the USL Cup 2 years ago.
Yeah, if you're part of the parent club, you've got to be thrilled with what you're doing here at the USL level, because the team's performing. You're making it into the playoffs each year. They lead the league in scoring, so they've got a bright future for the parent club.
This is a Red Bulls 2 team that has scored 4 or more goals 8 times this year. And it is a goal kick that is being given. There you see Brad Russin. It is his first start in a while. And of all matches to get that long-awaited start, do it on your 32nd birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Russin.
How about that?
One of 2 Indiana natives in the lineup for the Indy 11 tonight. Owain Van Williams, not from here. We've adopted him. He is from Wales. This is his first season playing outside of Great Britain. And played in Scotland. In fact, is on loan from his Scottish side, Inverness Caledonian Thistle. And a foul drawn by Elliot Collier. Fotis Bazakos is our match referee this evening. His first chance to blow a whistle comes some 80 seconds in. Of note for the Indy 11, we mentioned the fact that Brad Russin gets the start. Ioze is not starting tonight. It is the first time he has not started a match in exactly a month, August 5th at Louisville. This is the 6th match that he hasn't gotten a start in this season. Ball played across. Starikoff slides and finds the back of the net in the 2nd minute. No need to chase the game tonight for the Indy 11.
Goodness.
Starikoff gets his 4th goal this season. And the flip to boot, Indy the early 1-goal lead.
Unbelievable. You take a look at that ball that was touched to the ground by, I think, Mares, and that's a ball that is so difficult to handle. And not only does he handle it here, he's blind behind the defender, but then delivers a perfect pass.
For Mares, it is his first assist in his 5th game back with his original professional club. And Starikoff has that knack. I didn't know he had the knack to do that, but he has the knack to find the back of the net. We saw him score a very similar goal the last time he found the back of the net, which I believe was 2 weeks ago in the victory against Toronto FC 2.
He has got an unbelievable skill set of, tracking down the correct lane as that ball is slotted through and outworking defenders to find the other end of the ball.
Now the Indy 11, not this early in the match, but had an early goal against Red Bulls 2, and these 2 teams got together on May 27th. Suni Saad scored in that match on a lead from Nathan Lewis and took a 1-0 lead into halftime. It went downhill from that point in time. Indy 11 trailed on Saturday against the Richmond Kickers for all about 9 minutes. before Mares would level the match with his second goal in as many weeks for his once again club.
Boy, they come quick.
And that is a foul just outside of the 18.
Tough spot. Dangerous spot.
Take a look at this play here. Carlisle Mitchell, the guilty party, and he is lucky that was not a yard further down the field. And now a yellow has been shown. Not sure that was to Mitchell or to someone else. The last time these two teams played, Nico Matern was shown 2 quick yellow cards in about a 4-minute stretch. And the Indy 11 played a man down and gave up 2 of their 4 goals allowed, playing as a 10-man side.
From this spot, you've just got about every option available to you.
Question is, can you get it up and down if you want to go over the wall? Von Williams lined up as if it's going to go around the wall.
Good.
Von Williams had it read perfectly. Von Williams 9 clean sheets so far this season.
Yeah, it's a good strike. Not a great strike. I think if he would put it a little bit more into the corner, he might have had a chance at that upper corner.
Frankly, he put it in a place where Von Williams could see it.
Ooh,
Von Williams
hit.
knocked to the ground. It'll be another corner coming. And they'll switch who will take this corner. The previous one was taken by Chris Lima. A lot of traffic in front of Von Williams. This is Tenari that will take it. Finds the head of Reiner Ferreira first for the Indy 11. And then the former Red Bulls product and Carl Ouimet will send it forward. Nico Matern leads the charge for the Indy 11. That might be the first and last time all season we say that. Not exactly the part of the field Nico is familiar with. Time now for our keys to this match, presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11.
For Indy 11, it's the first 5, last 5. We've talked about it before. It's those moments that, you know, we reference all the time as coaches, and players know it. The first 5 minutes of a half, last 5 minutes of a half, you got to be clicked in. They've had a tendency to give up goals in those little windows. Got to finish strong. You are on a tough 7-game in 22-day stretch. You're at the tail end of it. You've done a great job with it. Carry that momentum in today. Have a good result. For New York Red Bulls, too, they play an up-tempo, fast and furious game. You're catching the 11 on the back end of this 7-game streak. Don't lose who you are. Keep the pace elevated. And then you got to be aware of Mares. You saw it out there on this first goal. He's a 3-dimensional thinker who can break the press of New York and get you sideways in a hurry.
Outstanding ball here by the Red Bulls. Tenari. Pressured by Moses. Couldn't sneak it past Matern.
Look at the numbers they come with. They got 6 guys trying to trap that ball in the pocket on top of the box.
They have played a 4-4 draw this year. They have played in a 6-4 game this year, have the Red Bulls. Again, they lead the league in goals in 59, yet they're 7th. So it tells you they'll give up a couple of goals because they feel they've got more than 2 or 3 in the bag anytime they play.
Yeah, they're averaging right now, giving up about 2 goals a game. For the season, they're averaging scoring 2.2, but over the last 10-game stretch, they're scoring almost 3 goals a game. So their scoring has heated up, and their defending has stayed the same, and that's why they're on this pretty good run recently.
Their record's a little bit less on the road, although they've gotten road points in 8 of 12 matches. 8 draws, 4 losses. They do not have a road win this year. Some stats you can make sense of. I'm not sure what to make of that stat. Here's Moses. Good looking left foot. Seth really kind of got his first chance to be a difference maker for the Indy 11 this year in the month of June. And until he got nicked up a couple of weeks ago, he was part of this August rotation for the Indy 11. Anatol Abong, the player that is down for the Red Bulls, too. Martin running with Phil DeSantos to his left, the brain trust for the Indy 11. Indy has 5 road wins so far this year. that look to up that total starting next week as 4 of their final 6 matches are played away from Lucas Oil Stadium.
Oh, wow.
Well timed. Von Williams out of the frame of the goal. Frankly, one of the 4 goals that Red Bulls 2 scored against the Indy 11 back on May 27th was a similar setup. But no danger that time. Elliot Collier, great job of advancing the ball forward. And as we have quickly learned in his loan spell from the Chicago Fire, Collier is not just a target player, a big body at 6'5". He's got the feet of a smaller player.
Yeah, well, you saw that right there. He got himself out of a triple team. Was just, you know, sometimes when you work yourself out of there, you spend so much energy to break that initial pressure that you lose a little bit. And once you break it, that next touch is a little bit heavy sometimes. And that's what happened there. The ball just got away from him.
Collier played his college soccer at Loyola of Chicago. And then with the Chicago Fire as a selection. And that'll be a goal kick coming for a wide Von Williams. John Waliniak is the head coach of Red Bulls 2. He has been their head coach since day number 1. He spent many years in Major League Soccer, 33 goals in Major League Soccer, most of them with either the Metro Stars, the precursor name for what is now the New York Red Bulls. In fact, he was waived by the Red Bulls when they signed Thierry Henry back in 2010. Elected to retire and has been coaching the Red Bull system ever since. And
done a heck of a job. You know, for 4 years here, and he's lifted this team to be a competitive. You know, they're trying to build their own talent. They've got academy players, they've got the USL roster, and then they've got guys coming down from the first club to get some minutes. And he's navigated all of those really tricky waters to put a competitive product on the field every night.
Time now for tonight's injury report presented by Community Health Network Sports Medicine, official sports medicine provider of the Indy 11. And that list continues to get smaller. Tyler Pasher and Jordan Farr, again, those are both long-term injuries at this point for the Indy 11. We still don't see Justin Braun in the 18, but he continues to get healthier, and maybe by the time the Indy 11 get to Penn FC next Wednesday, we could see Justin playing a match for the first time in 2 months. Collier again. Well done to avoid a pair of defenders.
Unreal. Unreal. The tough thing with really tall, long-legged players is, can they move their feet with the pace to keep up with guys that are not that big? And his footwork is incredible.
From an attacking standpoint, I think he's the tallest player the Indy 11 have had in their 5 years. He might be the tallest player they've had, period. Christian Neat might have been about that kind of that same height.
What was, I'm forgetting his name, Ben
Spencer was 6'4", so right about that same for him. I think Elliott goes about 6'5". Hassan Ndam, one of 2 players on the pitch tonight from Cameroon. And there are a handful of players around the league that will not be playing tonight, this weekend, maybe even midweek next week, because it is the international break, or the first one on the major club calendar. For the Indy 11, Nathan Lewis is not here this evening. He is one of 4 players around the USL that was called up by Trinidad and Tobago. Alan Jans also not here for Red Bulls 2. He's been called up to international duty as well. There's one player that caught my attention on that list, and it's not for tonight's match. It is for next week for the Indy 11. They play Penn FC. Lucky Kasana has earned up a call from Zimbabwe, and so in theory, one of the better goal scorers in the league next Wednesday might not be playing when Indy goes to Harrisburg.
Not just one of the better goal scorers in the league, but a guy who is just on fire.
And Penn FC has 3 players that have been called out for national team duty. And you see Carl Lamette. Carl has spent time with both the Red Bulls and the Montreal Impact during his career. Little contact at midfield. We play on. There's Brad Rustin. We mentioned he's one of 2 Indiana natives on the pitch tonight for the Indy 11. Handball is whistled. He literally found the other one with his pass in Dylan Mayers. Brad is from the Crown Point area. Dylan Both South Bend and Zionsville claim Dylan Mayers.
Okay, anybody that can probably does. I bet Louisville claims him as well. IU claims him. Miami now claims him.
That level of talent you want to be associated with them.
Yeah.
By the way, this Sports the Match presented by Community Health Sports Medicine. Dream big, work hard, and finish strong. Dylan Mayers found Ferreira, as you did too. But on the cross, real no overlapping run there for the Indy 11. In the goal by Eugene Starikov, coming in the 2nd minute. Throw-in coming here for Indy. Fan Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit SelectSportAmerica.com and receive free shipping on orders over $50. There'll be a conversation had before this ball is reset. Evan Loro, the player that is in goal tonight for the New York Red Bulls. This is his 22nd match for Red Bulls 2. So he has gotten the vast majority of match play this season. And there are 4 second sides in the Eastern Conference of the USL. Red Bulls 2 and the Bethlehem Steel are both in the playoff picture. TFC 2 and Atlanta United 2 are not, but the Indy 11 got great efforts from both of those sides in the month of August.
They're tough to play with. We've talked about it before, that, you know, as far as trying to scout these teams, you don't know, are they dropping players down to get them game minutes? Are they bringing academy players up? You know, stylistically they should play the same, but you don't know the personnel and the individual tendencies that they have to prepare for. And then too, you can never count them out. These are young kids that are fighting for careers, and so, you know, the records don't matter. It's guys that are coming to play every single night.
But again, to the Red Bulls' credit, since they began this franchise, they have cared about the results. They have not just been about player development. They have wanted to win matches. They have made the playoffs each of the last 3 years, and they were the 7th seed, which is after where they are right now. 7th seed a year ago, made all the way to the conference finals. Had to cross, but again, no Indy 11 player sitting back post. That was off of Collier.
And that's a huge point that you bring up, is that they're competitive and that they want to win. Is that, you know, it's not just giving these young kids opportunities and giving them minutes in games, but you have to build a championship culture. They've got to come up expecting to win, wanting to win, competing to win.
Fans, you can show your Indy 11 pride and get your exclusive Indiana Members Credit Union Indy 11 debit card at any Indiana Members Credit Union branch or online at imcu.com today. It does not take Red Bulls too long to get on the attack. Ferreira got a piece of that. Aginaga sends it in.
Good ball.
On the cross, swept away, but not out of danger just yet. And that's going to be, I believe, an offside flag going up for that ball ricocheting off of a Red Bulls 2 player.
And with the pace that they come and on their counterattacks and in transition, so many players going. Ferreira at some point is going to say, I want to go back into the center.
And really, the Indy 11 playing with 4 center backs tonight. With Iose on the bench, Kevin Venegas is not in the 18 this evening. Brad Ring is. He can play outside back if needed. We've seen Wimette play a variety of center back and kind of that wing position at times this year. But Ferreira, as Brad just mentioned, bumps outside. First time we've seen him play this role this year. Another foul against Red Bulls 2. You see Carlisle Mitchell making his 26th appearance of the season for the Indy 11. That leads the 11 in terms of the non-goalkeeper division, as Owain Von Williams continues to have played every second of every match this season for the Indy 11.
And you look at Mitchell, what a rock he's been back there.
Miscommunication here. Giveaway. But Starikov could not slide it through. Good pressure by Ferreira. Enjoying the freedom to move up a little bit from what he normally does from his center back position.
Well, you know, once he commits into that space and the ball is kind of 50-50, he's exposed the left back spot. So he's got to keep going and try and press that ball so they can't find the open space, because the Red Bulls immediately started breaking into it. And rather than make the 50-yard sprint back to try to get goal side, make the 10-yard sprint to the ball, see if you can just stop it there.
By this point in the match on Saturday night, the goal scoring was done for the evening. I don't think that's the case tonight. Setting up.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
Just missed the back post. Ethan Cutler.
What a hit.
Ethan played his college soccer at Colgate. Cutler's got a couple of goals this year. This is his 19th start of the season.
Look at this ball. What a hit from an outside back. That had a little curve on the end of it.
Didn't miss that by much. After tonight, the Red Bulls have just 5 matches remaining. Only one of those are at home. Their next match is at home against Toronto FC 2. Then they are on the road for their final 4. Looking back post. Fawn Williams watches that go up and over the bar off the head of Brian White. And again, what's unique is that their home record's been so good just because, again, these second sides don't play in front of big crowds. But yet they've been fantastic from home, and they've been kind of about a point a match so far away from home.
One of the tough things to learn as a new pro, as a young pro, is that rhythm on the road. You know, sometimes you get to a new city, you want to go out, look at the city. You know, you're not on your normal rhythm at home, and that's one of the first adjustments you have to make is, hey, this is my job. I got to make sure I'm ready to go the next day. I'm not saying that's the case, but that is one of the challenges that young pros have to navigate.
Sarikoff will leave that ball for a teammate to throw in. This portion of the match presented by the Room Place. Get it all at the Room Place. Good job of getting in the way by Mitchell. And now Watson.
Clever
looking
ball.
for Starikov. Starikov left foot. Make it 2 for Eugene Starikov.
What a hit.
It is a brace for Eugene. It is a 2-0 advantage for the Indy 11. The goals for the Indy 11, you wouldn't say they're against the run of play, but they haven't exactly come from a lot of possession at this point either.
No, I'll tell you what, almost identical is a ball that's dropped into the backside where you've got an unmarked Starikov. Great look by Watson to find him.
Starikov now 3 home goals this season. His first 2 were on the road in the span of a week against the Charleston Battery and the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
He just hammered that ball home.
Young man that spent his formative years in California, but then played professionally in Ukraine and Russia until coming back to the States to play for the New York Cosmos a season ago. A dream start for the Indy 11, even if the possession has been in favor of Red Bulls 2. Indy 11 trying to make it 9 consecutive without a loss. But frankly, this is a 6-point match, given where these two teams reside in the standings. And if you can get 3 tonight, I wouldn't say you wrap up a playoff spot, but you put yourself much more in the we're battling for a home game in the playoffs, more so than just trying to battle to make your way into the playoffs conversation.
I think tonight's the first time that I've looked at the table where we're more than 3 points separated from that 8th spot.
And Indy was hoping for 3 points against Richmond on Saturday. But literally every other result in the Eastern Conference went in Indy's favor on Friday and Saturday last week. We're kind of the teams that were 12, 13, 14 all won. The teams kind of 5 through 9 didn't really do much in terms of points.
And you look at the Red Bulls over this last 10-game stretch where they're averaging 3 goals a game. They're fine right now. They know they're going to score. They don't have any doubt in their. You score 59 goals in a season so far. You know you can put it away.
Collier, Starikov, Moses could not get through. They're asking for a handball. The official says, yes, it touched a hand, but it was on an extended arm. It was an arm that was down. Let's take another look here.
I thought Endom did a great job to get a little bit of that back post or a little bit of the goal covered for Laurel.
It's tough.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, he didn't move it. That was a heck of a strike, though.
Normally, Ioze takes these corners for the Indy 11. Not tonight. Ball sent in, flicked across, nobody back post. Great ball by Collier. Better work by Ouimet, just couldn't keep possession of it. Seth Moses was looking for his first Indy 11 goal, where the handball was not called. 11 different goal scorers so far this year for the Indy 11. And how about that ball by Ferreira? Follows directions as it stays in the field of play. Alongside Brad Hutter, Greg Rakestraw. Thank you for joining us for Indy 11 Soccer here on Wish TV and ESPN Plus. Off to the races come the Red Bulls.
Great touch.
Mitchell to sweep it away.
That's so important, that to have that interior defender be able to front any ball that's slotted across, just for your goalkeeper not to have to worry about it coming to his backside and his blind side and trying to lay out for a ball he has no idea if it's going to be struck or not.
Matt Watson got in the way of that one. Mitchell goes to the turf and draws the foul. Fans, the USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow @USL on Twitter. Anatola Bong has been, saw him with the handshake there with Brad Russin. He's been a part of the Red Bulls organization for the last 4 years, but has spent most of that time on loan. This is just his 4th match of the season with Red Bulls 2. It's Collier working around Ndom. That's a foul.
What a great move.
Again, just outside of the 18. So each team now have had a kick from the spot, or kick from just outside of the box when it almost could have been a penalty. Red Bulls 2 couldn't do much with theirs. And interesting to see who's going to take this, as you'll see the foul here.
And look at this, the pace at which he's attacking the 1v1 to be able to make that cut and move is fantastic.
But to take the kick, it looks like it's going to be Mayers, and we've seen him make this from this distance in years gone by. But normally for the Indy 11, it would be Ioze or Suni Saad or Jack McInerney. They're all on the bench tonight.
With the fight that you've got in Starikov, to be first of all, put it up on the backside and just let him go get it.
The Indy 11 have not had a hat trick this year. You got to go back a couple of years for that to be the case. Ferreira sends it in. And Starikov hustles to track it down. The Indy 11 franchise has been blessed over their 5-year history with players that are phenomenal on those set pieces. Think back to Nemanja Vukovic the last couple of years, Nicky Patterson a couple of years before that, Cleberson in the first season. And that guy right there has converted a time or two in those scenarios as well. Dylan now 4th in the club's history in terms of match appearances with 85. 3rd in goals scored. Only behind Eamon Zion and Justin Braun.
Man, you talk about it, through these first few years, we've had the luxury of having somebody really, really talented to take the restarts. But the depth of that this year with Ioze, Suni Saad, now you got Dylan Mayers, you got McInerney hitting a couple of great balls.
Foul given against Seth Moses. McInerney, when he hit that goal of that ilk against Penn FC back on June 30th.
What does ilk mean?
Of that type, that impressive nature.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on. You know, we said, hey, Jack, why haven't you taken any of these kicks so far this year? He's like, well, you've seen what Ioze and Suni have done. Right. It's kind of hard to crack the rotation.
And I tell you, even before Ioze and Suni Saad got going, you had Garrett and Venegas that were taking and putting balls into great spots.
Lima Standing right in front of his team bench, sizing up options here. We're waiting on the conversation around between our match referee and Seth Moses. No card was shown to Moses in that scenario.
Good serve.
Ball sent in. Russin got there first. Moses will clear outside of the 18. Lima couldn't get it off his boot. And Moses, a little conversation directed at the Red Bulls 2 player. And then a foul called against Collier. By the way, I'm not sure if we kind of cleaned up who got that first card. It was Nico Mattern. So apparently something about playing against a side with Red Bulls in their name for the native of Germany gets him up in a lather, because he had 2 yellows against him back in May, and he has one in this match. Fans, be sure to join us this Saturday morning for Soccer Saturday on 107.5 FM and 1070 The Fan. Got a feeling Eugene Starikoff will be on the show on Saturday morning, not to mention the head coach of the Indy 11 and Mark Rennie. We'll talk about the USA's first men's national team match since the World Cup. That happens on Friday night. And we'll talk about the Premier League season to this point. All on Soccer Saturday, 9 a.m., 107.5 FM and 1070 The Fan. And Moses just will knock that ball about 45 yards down the field. Starikoff showing a lot of energy.
He's such a force out there.
He did not play on Saturday.
You look at balls that normally you'd say, even if you go all out, that's at best a 50-50 ball. And that's with you reacting immediately and putting everything you have into it. He chases down every ball. You can't quit on a ball that he's around.
Good step, but again, Watson was offside. Well, the depth of this Indy 11 roster on display tonight. Collier getting his 2nd start and just his 5th appearance with the club. Starikoff, his 10th start of the season. And he missed about a 3-month chunk of time due to injury. You reference those 2 road goals that he had in July. That was just as he was getting back into the lineup. He really didn't play from early April on. And Seth Moses getting the start up front tonight. This is just his 11th start of the year.
Yeah, he's a guy that made the most of his early minutes when the 11 were in that injury stretch and needed some bodies early in the season. He rose to the occasion.
Opportunity here. Corner allowed by Mitchell, but beats the alternative for the Indy 11. By the way, this Sports the Match presented by Honda Manufacturers of Indiana, official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Von Williams getting ready to make a move on it. Ouimet had it red. In this stretch of 7 matches in 22 days, this is the 5th home match for the Indy 11 during that time. And they have allowed a first-half goal to the road team in each of the previous 4 games. So keeping that number at 0 going to the 45-minute mark. Clearly one of the goals for the Indy 11 here.
And a lot of those have been of the momentum swinging, back-breaking
and set-piece variety.
Yeah, that's also come at either a foul that maybe didn't need to happen, but late in the half that just kind of, you've got so much energy from the way that you've played this first half. The Red Bulls can completely swing it if they can get one here before the close of the half.
Well, specifically that was the case in the win against North Carolina August the 15th and the draw against Pittsburgh a week ago. This Red Bulls team, as mentioned, just 5 games remaining after tonight. They also end a bit early. Their last match is on October the 9th, so they'll kind of have a chance to sit back the final weekend and see exactly how the playoff permutations will work themselves out. And when ricochets off of Moses We've raved about the flexibility of this Indy 11 team all season long. I'm not sure there's a better example than Seth Moses. He has literally seen time as a defender, a midfielder, and tonight as a forward.
And in each of those roles has been a terror. I mean, his constant energy, doesn't back away from anything. Physical player. You saw him getting into it a little bit here with, I think, one of the Red Bulls midfielders.
Fans, you can watch highlight from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with news from across the USL at the league's official Facebook page, facebook.com/USL Soccer. You see the members of the Brickyard Battalion. Well, there's only 2 home games left. And by the way, Ric Flair's approval is always a wonderful thing to have in the Brickyard Battalion. Let's not ignore the legend being shown on camera. But the road games for the Indy 11 too are of the very close variety. There's the road trip to FC Cincinnati on September the 29th. The road trip to Louisville on October the 13th. And the Brickyard Battalion is already in planning mode for road trips to each of those nearby locales. So there's just 2 home matches left, but there's more opportunities than that to watch this team before the playoffs begin.
The 11 have had 2 really tough stretches of compressed games in a short period of time throughout this season. And you trade it for what you have here at the end is some home matches, some close road matches, and really good quality sides that'll get you tuned up for the final.
Good read by Watson. Wearing the captain's armband. He and Brad Ring have alternated that over the course of this 7-match and 22-day stretch. Brad had it on Saturday. Watson with the tackle.
What a luxury to have 2 guys like that you can just interchange the armband and the team's going to respond to either one of them because of the trust and comfort they have in their leadership.
You can see the legend in Brad Ring, the all-time leader in Indy 11 match appearances. One of 2 players in the Century Club. Don Smart being the other.
How far is Mayers away?
Mayers would need to play 15 more to reach 100. Mayers is now 3 matches away from catching Marco Franco for 3rd in club history in matches played. We'll see Marco in a week at Penn FC as that one put Fawn Williams in a spot of bother before he realized it was turning away from the near post. Last time this team had a Saturday off was 4 weeks ago. They'll look forward to some downtime this weekend. They'll look forward to it even more if they can hold on to this lead against this very potent Red Bulls 2 side. Reference the fact that Russin and Mayers, both in the state of Indiana, they're both guys who spent time with Miami FC a year ago. So they know each other quite well.
Great turn.
Look at this ball. Starikoff. Right idea by Mitchell. Loro off his line to make the play.
He read it. He was off his line quick.
This portion of this match presented by the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. Take your business to the next level in a state that works. Dimensions of this field: 110 yards long, 70 yards wide. Looking for an angle to shoot here, could not get through. Ferreira gets in the way. Andreas Ivan, the player, with the ball at his feet for the Red Bulls. Good combination play there. Russin got a boot to it. Handball going to be called. Again, just outside of the 18.
Good step by Russin. That's such an underrated play right there. If they put the ball down and they can play quickly, the Red Bulls are walking in on Owine Fawn Williams. And Russin recognizes it, stands in front of the ball, make the official, stop play, get the 10 yards, and restart it with the whistle. But it gives your team a chance to organize.
Second yellow card of the match also showed to the Indy 11. So Mitchell joins Mattern as those sitting on a yellow tonight. And almost from the exact same spot, maybe a little bit further towards the center from a few minutes ago. And what did we just talk about a few minutes ago, Brad? The late half foul that sets up a free kick. The Indy 11 have seen this script before, and it's been a bit of a horror movie when they've seen it the last few times.
The only positive is every time they've seen it, they've responded to it. It's sometimes taken 94 minutes.
It is an 8-man wall being shown by the Indy 11. And that's what happens when you have an 8-man wall. Stuff doesn't get through.
It holds.
Outstanding flick by the RB2. Andreas Ivan, the player that with that flick, this is his first match for the second side for Red Bulls 2. He's played 2 matches with the parent club. That's a foul. Would not have counted had it had gone in.
Well, you can see the talent. You can see the quality of the Red Bulls 2 and the attacking third.
Ivan had played in Germany the last few years. He's originally from Romania. And of course, there are European ties with this franchise, as evidenced by Jesse Marsh leaving as the head coach of the parent club, now being an assistant coach in Europe. So there is both a European network and an in-states network, if you will, to discover talent for this original Major League Soccer franchise, formerly known as the Metro Stars. And of course, Red Bull Arena is one of the great soccer buildings in this country.
Jesse Marsh, quality individual. I mean, it's great to see he was a successful player. It's great to see him succeed as a coach.
Collier plays it forward. Starikov gets there.
Oh my goodness.
But Loro gets there first.
Nearly. Little mix up and Loro sorted it out.
The final 5 minutes plus stoppage time of the first half, brought to you by your Central Indiana Honda Dealers, official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11.
Back in the day, way back in the day, I used to have a soccer store in Chicago. And when Jesse Marsh was with the Fire, he came and did an appearance. It was supposed to be a 2-hour appearance. Stayed for 6 hours and signed autograph after autograph after autograph. Didn't buy anything, though.
But he brought all of those fans with him.
I'm not bitter about it. It was a generous effort for him to give that much time.
Last scoring opportunity here for the Indy 11. And again, it was that misstep right there that opened the door ever so slightly for Eugene Starikov. It has not taken much for him to find the back of the net tonight. As far as those with braces this year for the Indy 11, it's almost like junior high. Lots of braces to go around. McInerney, Saad, and Braun. Ioze, a part of that club as well.
And now Starikov. So now you can you recall? You probably can. I don't know anybody else on the planet could.
Ball's in play here. Sliding tackle away. Corner coming for the Red Bulls too.
Can you recall another season where there have been multiple?
That many different guys that have had braces? No. I mean, Eamon Zayed's had 3 in a game a couple of times for the Indy 11. No, the goal scoring. And McInerney's taken the lion's share as of late, but to be that spread out, absolutely not. Tenari on the corner.
Good ball.
You've got Collier that can drop in as an extra defender. Look at that flick forward. Mattern charging forward. Laurel off his line. Mattern looks for help. Gonna wait. Nice little step back. Nico, step over. Let it go, Nico. But how about that quick action by the Indy 11? Ferreira! Ryder Ferreira!
My goodness.
Gets his first Indy 11 goal. It's 3 before halftime for the Indy 11. Make it 12 different goal scorers for the Indy 11 this season.
Wow. And, you know, tip of the hat to Cutler. He made a 60-yard run to slow down and at least give an opportunity to stop Modern. But the 11 did a great job of filling in the pockets. What a run. He may be gassed. What a great move, too.
And as referenced, that's not normally Nico's spot of the field. He was so far away, he might have needed GPS at the end of that one. A great couple of touches by Ferreira. And again, this is a guy those are two guys we just talked about in Mattern and Ferreira. We haven't talked about them in these roles this year.
Yeah, and you know, you look at Loro and how upset he is right now. They had him. They had Ferreira right at the top of the box in a double team, and neither one of the guys stepped to the ball. That gets your goalkeeper furious.
Ferreira had 3 shots on the season coming in. So 3 for the Indy 11, almost 1 for Red Bulls 2. By the way, the Indy 11 have not scored more than 3 goals in a match this year. They have scored 3 multiple times, and they've done it multiple times at home during this stretch of 7 matches in 22 days.
Think about that on the last game of this ridiculously tough stretch with a handful of guys that haven't played many minutes together.
Well, we referenced this in the pre-match show. No team has handed it to the Indy 11 the way the Red Bulls 2 did back on May the 27th. Indy really hasn't blown that many teams out yet this year either. There's 45 minutes left to go. And the last time these two teams played, Red Bulls 2 scored 4 in the final 45 minutes. So not exactly done just yet. Moses, right ID on that ball, with Watson making the supporting run. By the way, 2 minutes of added time is what we expect before the end of this half, and that has been confirmed by the 4th official. Beautiful flick there by Red Bulls 2. Good read by Russin. For Russin, this is just his 5th start of the season, but he has started both matches against Red Bulls 2.
And he's played well tonight.
Yes.
His reads have been good. You know, his starting in transition, playing that ball into the midfield have been solid.
Russin missed most of last year due to knee surgery and may have been kind of pressed back into duty at the start of this season, possibly before he had hoped. But he really has been sparingly used over the last couple of months. So he might be, frankly, a healthier version than we have seen.
Great ball movement.
Collier couldn't keep it in play. Well, this sparked from some potentially unlikely sources. Exactly what the Indy 11 needed. We'll look forward to our conversation with head coach Martin Rennie coming up at the end of our halftime show. Special guest set to join us at halftime as well, plus our typical look around the USL. And I'll preview a preview for you. There's no other Eastern Conference matches taking place tonight, so our out-of-town scoreboard will be a look at basically every other Eastern Conference match this weekend, because there are so few teams that have been knocked out of the playoff chase at this point. Every game in the East has playoff potential, has a playoff impact, and that is a foul whistled against Russin. Abong draws the whistle.
Now that's the second time that they've shook hands. Was it Abong that you said also played in Denmark?
I believe so, yes.
I wonder if those two have had,
perhaps,
because they've been very friendly for guys that have hit each other all night.
Again, it's Lima and Tenari. It's Lima that sends it in. Back post, but offside, and not exactly squared up was the opportunity. And that is the halftime whistle. Possession in favor of Red Bulls 2. But the scoreboard significantly in favor of the Indy 11 at halftime. Martin Rennie should be all smiles going to the break as his team leads by 3 in what could be a 6-point swing in the Eastern Conference playoff picture tonight. A pair for Eugene Starikov and a first in an Indy 11 uniform by Reiner Ferreira. It all adds up to a 3-0 lead at halftime for the Indy 11. Trying to end this 7-match gauntlet with a bang, as they have thrice found the back of the net. A result worth flipping over so far Indy 11-3, New York Red Bulls 2-0. As you're watching Indy 11 Soccer on Wish TV and ESPN+. Three of the good for the Indy 11, and maybe as good of a mood as you could be in as a head coach with 45 minutes left to go. That's the case for Martin Redding as he joins us now for our Turkish Airlines halftime interview. Martin, your thoughts on the scoring display from both Eugene Starikov and Rainer Ferreira?
Yeah, well, I think the whole team played well. We pressed the ball really well. We put the opponent under pressure, and we exploited the chances that came our way, so it was a good half for us.
From a tactic standpoint, whether it's you or Red Bulls 2, what changes, if any, do you expect in the second half?
Well, for us, we have to keep doing the same things that we're doing and, you know, make sure that we're winning second balls when they go forward, make sure we're winning second balls when they go the other way. Their pressure is very strong, so we have to manage well against that.
Your thoughts about the way this group has played in terms of their combinations, because, frankly, this is a group that hasn't probably spent much time together in training. You wouldn't know that watching them play tonight.
Yeah, their energy's been good, their quality's been good, but it's half a game, so now we have to do it for another half.
Fair enough. Good luck in that half. We'll talk to you after the match. Head coach Martin Redding joining us again for our Turkish Airlines halftime interview. The official international airline of the Indy 11. Turkish Airlines, widen your world. And again, the scoring chances came from quick opportunities like this one at minute number 2.
Yeah, I love the perspective of Coach Rennie right there. You look at, hey, we're up 3-0. You can go into that locker room and you can say, okay, we're in a really good spot. You know, let's sit and not get ourselves stretched. And he's reinforcing the fact that, hey, this is a high-flying team. And they get up real fast. They get the ball forward fast, get those second balls. Love the perspective he brought.
The flick forward by Starikov. And Matern with, simply put, his longest run of the season. It did not end up where Nico got his first Indy 11 goal, but the attack continued, and Ferreira would pick up his first Indy 11 tally.
Yeah, great recovery run by Cutler to force him into a move and to spend a little bit more energy at the end. But, you know, Matern still got off a pretty good shot.
Shots on target for the Indy 11-4. Shots in the back of the net, 3.
It's a pretty good percent.
75%'s not bad. It's going to do okay. All right, so I asked that question to Martin. I'll ask the same question of you. Do you see either team kind of change their modus operandi here in half number 2?
Nope, I don't. I think what the 11 have done has been very successful in transition. They've exploited that space and really used some of the Red Bulls' energy against themselves. And I think for New York, the only way you can get back into this game is to play fast and to play direct.
So charge the torpedoes forward for Red Bulls 2. And on cue, here's the ball headed for the back post that Ferreira could not clear outside of the 18-yard box.
And the one thing you've got to be really cautious of here in the first 5-10 minutes is giving up an early one if you're Indy 11, because what that does is that gives a little bit of life, a little bit of hope. Coming back from 2 is a whole lot easier than coming back from 3.
Again, the Red Bulls 2 have been involved in some very high-scoring affairs this year. 6-4 against Louisville City immediately comes to mind. And that was a loss. And that's not exactly how Louisville normally plays either.
And think of that, if you're a fan and you bought a ticket to that game, you're seeing a goal every 9 minutes. If my math is right.
Your math is spot on, Brad. Your understanding of some of the finer points of the English language might need some work, but your math is fantastic. Being nice. No substitutions for either side to start half number 2. Good looking leave here. A good job by Watson to get there first.
And you look at the way Watson, Mitchell, we met just condensed on that space there. There was no place for that ball to go.
A bong. Couldn't get it past
What a
Vaughn
great
Williams.
save.
Rebound is there. Good job to rotate back by the back line.
Such a clever ball tucked in behind, I think it was behind Russin.
And this will be a throw-in coming here for Red Bulls 2.
That was a great read. I mean, Vaughn Williams was off his line very quickly.
Last time out for Red Bulls, too, it was a 1-0 victory against Ottawa Fury. That was on Friday night. By the way, it's their only 1-0 win of the year. That's not normally how they play. Good spell of possession here for Red Bulls, too. Again, possession has not been the issue. They've had the ball 62% of the time in this match.
They are good in tight spaces. I mean, you look at the supporting runs and opportunities that they have. They got players in triangles all over, and they're not afraid to play this 1- and 2-touch game at the top of the box.
Part of this is also whom you get to practice against on a daily basis if you're the Red Bulls. Good closeout by Ferreira. And that'll be a foul against Ferreira. If this result holds, it makes that result last Friday for this team against Ottawa even more massive, because that's the team right now on the outside looking into the 9th spot.
Right. That was a big win for New York, because Ottawa's been on just a steady climb over the last month.
Because Ottawa doesn't let anybody score.
That's right.
As evidenced by 2 clean sheets against the Indy 11 this year. Opportunity here. Aginaga with the touch, but it's a bit too strong.
Hold on. We need a replay of that. I got to draw that one up. That is a pretty clever little restart.
And their combination play is outstanding, is it not?
They set up a nice little pocket of space. I think if they did that from 5 yards further out, that ball would have been a really difficult one for the 11 to handle.
This portion of tonight's match presented by the Denny Companies. The Denny Companies tearing down the past so you can build the future. By the way, for Ottawa, they will not have one of their better players for the next couple of matches, as that ricochet will lead to a goal kick for Fawn Williams. But Maxime Crépeau, that has been in goal and has been splendid for Ottawa this year. 12 clean sheets to lead the USL. He too has been called up for international duty, so he will miss the next match or 2 for Ottawa Fury. 24 players around the USL called up for international team play.
Speaks so highly of the quality in this league.
Moses, good work in the midfield. For Elliot Collier, getting his 2nd start, 5th appearance, and being sent on loan from the Chicago Fire. And Fawn Williams can wait for that ball to cross into the 18-yard box. And Elliott missed a couple of games because he was back with the Fire as part of their trip to Germany for a match against Bayern Munich. Aginaga plays it across. Fawn Williams.
Another good read.
Got
Tough
there.
hit.
Got run into.
That might be knee to head.
I think it was more knee to side or knee to ribs. Ben Lundgaard is an interested observer now from the sidelines for the Indy 11. And we'll start to get ready just in case. By the way, this portion of the match brought to us by Community Health Sports Medicine. Dream big, work hard, and finish strong. And you see the rookie out of Virginia Tech on loan from the Columbus Crew. Ben had a wrist injury where he missed some time this year. But he and Jordan Farr, the backups, have not seen the field, but they've kind of alternated who's been the backup based on injuries. And a yellow card was shown for that contact against Red Bulls too. And Brian Gerlach continues to get more quality time on camera. A bong picks up said yellow. If it's the left knee, it's the midsection. If it's the right knee, it's the head.
No, I think he got the shin to the face and the left knee to the ribs.
Well, thankfully, it doesn't look like it was contact above the shoulders. That's just a matter of kind of catching your breath and making sure all ribs are in one piece. He's trying to equal what Christian Neat did in the first year of the franchise 4 years ago, and that is play in every minute of every match.
That beard offers just a little bit more padding, too.
I'm not sure I've got a snappy comeback to that or not.
I was waiting.
I think that's a walk-off, Brad. The nifty flick forward here.
I think so, yeah.
Sarikoff was just offside, but again, you love the idea.
He's just dancing right on the edge.
You want your forwards pushing the envelope like that. Fans, don't forget about the USL's upcoming monthly awards for August. Voting runs through this weekend for those monthly awards. Have your say of the Player of the Month, Goal of the Month, and Save of the Month at USLsoccer.com. Throw in coming here for Indy. You see Nico Mattern, the rookie out of Germany, by way of Indiana Wesleyan University.
What a find. What a find.
Collier off to the races. He's got Mares in support. He didn't exactly leave himself much room to work with that last turn. Well, the players available for the Indy 11 tonight, we've already referenced Ben Lundgaard, Brad Ring, Ioze, Ben Spies, Juan Guerra, Suni Saad, and Jack McInerney. Mitchell with a giveaway.
You know, the Red Bulls, too, have had good interplay in the attacking third. They've had good opportunities. They've made good runs. They've been dynamic, but they just haven't had that final ball that really gives them a solid opportunity.
Von Williams is credited with 1 save in the first half. That was on that free kick. They lifted up and over the bar. They've had 2 spots from just outside of the 18. Other one went right into the wall late in the half. And leading scorer this year for the Red Bulls in Moreno, available for selection off the bench tonight. He with 9 goals. But they have 6 players that have 5 or more goals this year.
They have 20 goals sitting on their bench right now.
Two of the 4 goals scored by the Red Bulls against the Indy 11 back in late May were from players that were substitutes in that game. Abong had an opportunity there. Von Williams looks no worse for wear. If he can keep that 0 on the board, it would be his 10th clean sheet of the season. And first since a draw against the Ottawa Fury on August the 18th. Mitchell will play that ball out to the side for safety. Von Williams will play the turf bounce on that one. Starikoff onside. Now Mares.
Oh, what a turn.
Collier couldn't get through to him, but Moses will track it down for the Indy 11. Watson's distribution fantastic yet again.
Goodness, both of that ball out to Mares and that turn, both of those are understanding that there's pressure coming to your blind side and just knowing how to use that touch to break the press.
First substitution heading towards the scorer's table. And Jared Stroud for Red Bulls 2. Stroud has appeared in 22 matches this season. 5 goals and 10 assists. So a wealth of riches for this Red Bull squad in terms of their ability to find the back of the net, which is why that this isn't exactly a comfortable 3-goal lead. You like having a 3-goal lead, but if there's a team that could come back from this in this league, it's the team that Indy's playing tonight.
You can get about another 15 minutes off that clock, and you're feeling really, really comfortable.
Andreas Ivan, his first appearance for the Red Bulls 2, ends after some 57 minutes.
Great double.
Ouimet got there to force a corner. Corner number 5 taken by the Red Bulls this evening. Lucas Stauffer, the player that earns it. And he might have some friends and family here. He is from Owensboro, Kentucky. About a 3-hour drive to Indianapolis. Stauffer inside of the 18. Trying to find some space. Shot cannot get through. Tenari, good looking run. Von Williams, flag goes up. And Russin down on the turf. And for Brad, it's just his 5th start of the season, 9th appearance, but first in a while, and he appears to be all right. Take a look at the last sequence for Red Bulls 2.
And the comfort that they have in tight spaces is phenomenal.
For standing stats on the latest league news, be sure to visit uslsoccer.com. After tonight, the Indy 11 have just 2 more regular season home matches remaining. A win here could go a long way in trying to earn at least a postseason match in this building.
Be huge. Be huge.
Stauffer will trigger it in. Opportunity here on the turn, off the bar. Follow-up doesn't get through. Ferreira got in the way. Back post, not that time. And Mattern doing his darndest to get that ball out of the 18. It will be a corner coming up for Red Bulls 2.
What a sequence.
So a little help from the friends of Owain Von Williams. Back to action on the corner. Not a dangerous moment from it yet. From the lefty blast into the BYB. This portion of the match presented by the Room Place. Get it all at the Room Place. Collier gives chase on this one. Starikov charging forward. Collier draws the foul. Collier hasn't factored into the scoreline yet, but he's done a lot of good things this evening.
He does. He draws attention. He can break down, in the 1v1. He can, exploit the space behind the player, pull that second defender in, and then he can dish that ball pretty well into the boxes. And I'm excited to see how it's going to round out for him the more minutes he gets and the more comfort he gets here in Indy.
Mayer sends it in. Throw in coming here for the Indy 11.
Yeah, take another 30 seconds off. Managing the game.
And a yellow going to be shown. That'll go to Ouimet. So Ouimet joins Mitchell and Mattern in the book of our match referee tonight. Fotis Spazakis, tonight's referee. Starikoff the target. Good pressure by both Ouimet and Collier. Now Watson. Watson does have an assist from the first half. By the way, the yellow given to Watson, not Ouimet. Opportunity here for Stroud, who just entered the match. The left foot sails wide. It looks like the Indy 11 are about to make a substitution in a matter of moments. Maybe definitive answers to who that's going to be here in a minute or two.
Might be Starikoff. I tell you, as hard as he plays, his tank gets, well, not if it's Ring. Oh, that'd be great.
It'll be Brad Ring.
Put him up top.
By the way, fans, you get an inside look at life on and off the field from a player's perspective every Wednesday evening. The latest edition of From the Pitch at USLsoccer.com. Ring with the distance. On Saturday night, we are being told it's Nico Mattern he'll be replacing. Nico could be winded from those two lengthy trips down the field early in the match. That's a foul on Dylan Mayers. He had a hold of the jersey of Tenari.
And one of the things that makes Nico so great is he's able to sit as a front screen to that back four and just kind of pull the strings and move pieces around and be there as this kind of safety valve. And then when you give him a couple of 60-yard sprints in there, it does drain his tank a little bit more than he's used to.
Mayers, Starikoff, Collier, back to Mayers. Ferreira sprinting forward. Mayers looking for Collier. Collier didn't get the first touch on it that he wanted to. And now things will settle in somewhat here for Indy. And more to that impending substitution. That is also somewhat strategic in the fact that Mattern is sitting on a yellow card. Get him out of the match. Give you a better chance of not playing a man down. So Nico will make his way towards the Indy 11 sidelines, and the all-time leader in appearances for the Indy 11 will tack on one more to it. Brad Ring enters in minute number 65. And that'll be a foul against Red Bulls too. Last time Ferreira took the opportunity on the set piece. This time Mayers and Starikoff are standing over this one. And now it's just Dylan Mayers. Looking for his third goal in 5 matches back. Headed down off the bar. Ferreira couldn't get the rebound.
Is that Russin?
Looking for the birthday goal for Brad.
Holy smokes, what a great effort.
Opportunity for a counter here. Watson racing back. Does just enough to earn time for his defenders to return to position. Another corner given up by the Indy 11. It has been a well-worn path for Red Bulls 2 to the corner at this point.
Just got to navigate this. Nothing, you know, for the Red Bulls, and there's a short opportunity. Got to stay clicked in. If they can get one here, it gives them a little bit of life.
Lima to take this. Russin got there first. Now Stauffer with the blast, but up and over the bar.
That was a good first touch, and he had things kind of compressed in front of him to screen Owain Fon Williams, and he had that upper corner, just overhit it just a bit.
It has been a night for some unlikely sources for the Indy 11. Brad Russin, that is his second shot of the year. You see the Owensboro, Kentucky native on your screen, and Stauffer. Collier trying to work the give and go with Starikoff. And a foul on Collier. Mayers read it perfectly, but Collier in between. knocked a Red Bulls player to the ground.
And I think Starikov had just enough energy left to make that 30-yard run if that was allowed to let play.
Well, that player was onside. Ferreira had tried to play him offside. Well done by Red Bulls 2. Ball played across.
Wow.
Works its way all the way through the box without anybody touching it in either direction. Sometimes the bounces and caroms simply go your way on a given night too.
Unless you're in New York, then you're frustrated because that's a great scoring opportunity and you just couldn't get somebody on the other end of it.
It has not been for lack of chances for Red Bulls 2 tonight.
It's a dangerous, dangerous team.
Abong couldn't get through. Fawn Williams couldn't get there in time. Either didn't need to. Last touch by a New York player. This portion of the match presented by Delta Faucet. Delta Faucet. See what Delta can do. And already Fawn Williams being warned about killing some extra time.
He was on it with the card to Watson. He's sending a message, you know, don't let me catch you trying to kill this game off.
Both teams with 2 substitutions remaining. The first half brace by Starikov. The additional goal by Rainer Ferreira. Maybe looking for their 4th win in their last 9, but it would be 9 unbeaten if this scoreline holds. And more specifically, in this busy stretch of 7 in 22 days, 3 wins, 4 draws. They're one of 3 teams in the East to not lose a match in August. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh were the other 2. Ball played across. Abong!
Wow.
Just outside the post.
How he continues to work himself free in the box is impressive.
Anatole Abong. And from Cameroon. This is his 4th appearance with Red Bulls 2 in a short amount of time. No goals and no assists during that time. Jack McInerney awaits to enter for the Indy 11. And Eugene Starikov will have a chance to go enjoy his 2-goal performance this evening. Not ready to make the sign. Now they're going to show the sign for the substitution. So a 9-goal scorer replacing a 5-goal scorer on the season. Although right now they're going to wait because Seth Moses is down on the turf. That might change the substitution pattern. So Starikov not done just yet. And Moses missed the last 2 matches due to injury.
And this is a tough match to get back into after you've been off for a bit because it is so fast paced. It's box to box. And the way he plays, it's all out all the time.
Moses, his 16th match appearance of the season, his 11th start. Played with Puerto Rico FC last year. Tom Barlow now will enter the match. He scored a goal against the Indy 11 back on May the 27th. Barlow from St. Louis and played his college soccer at the reigning Big Ten tournament champs. That'd be the University of Wisconsin. Anatole Abong is done for the night. Barlow with 6 goals this year. So McInerney stays off for now. Starikov remains on. McInerney not straying too far from the bench at this point. Moses being waved back on. And a giveaway by Red Bulls 2. Second and final meeting, barring a playoff get together for these 2 on the season. But it's about to be the familiarity breeds contempt portion of the season for the Indy 11. As 4 of their final 5 matches this year will be against teams they are playing for a 3rd time. And Collier goes to the turf. He appears to be all right. The teams that the Indy 11 play 3 times this year: Cincinnati, Louisville, Bethlehem, and Pittsburgh. And it's Bethlehem that might be of the greatest import, just because that is the team that currently the Indy 11 are tied with in the standings. And I say currently just because if this score holds, they are 3 points clear of Bethlehem, but they would also have 2 games in hand on Bethlehem as well.
How about that too? When you look at that schedule, the teams that you play most often,
top of the table.
It's just incredible.
And again, you do it for geographic purposes, and so there's an easy explanation as to whom you play, you know, 3 times compared to those you play twice. But it tells you where most of the better teams in the conference are located too. In the Midwest and the state of Pennsylvania. Bears couldn't work it past Paulitz. Collier onside.
That's going to stay in.
Couldn't get to it in time. Even with his long legs, couldn't track it down. And now the substitution will take place. Starikoff is done for the night.
Yeah, it looks like Collier's gassed too.
We will talk to Eugene in the post-game show. And as a heads up, our post-game show is a bit detached this evening as we are on Wish TV tonight. So the post-game show will take place after the Wish TV 11 o'clock news. So our post-game coverage will be here at 11:30. Well done by Eugene Starikoff. And McInerney will come on with a chance to get into the top 20 in goals scored in the league. He's got 9. Entering tonight's match, 20 players in the league had 10 or more, led by Cameron Lancaster's 18.
Incredible.
For Louisville City FC. This portion of the match is presented by Honda Manufacturers of Indiana, official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Both teams have 1 substitution remaining. Good looking cross here. White was the target, could not get there.
That was a nice thought, though. You got the Indy 11 back line pulled up a little bit high. You got a couple of Red Bulls players right on the edge. Nice time for an early serve.
Fans, how well do you know the USL? Test your knowledge in the USLsoccer.com's weekly picks competition, and you can win tickets to an upcoming USL game of your choice. You had the first week of the season. I think I had around July the 4th, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Did you do well?
Of course I did. I have no idea. I think I went maybe I got 2/3 of them right, somewhere in that neighborhood. Yeah. Not bad. Did well enough to keep my job, let's put it that way.
Yeah, that was really in jeopardy. Everybody was hanging on the fact if his picks are off, that's it for him.
You never know,
You
man.
dodged a bullet.
You don't want to leave the door open. Ouimet sends this one in. Next telecast that Brad and I will have will be 3 weeks from now, when the Indy 11 play host the Tampa Bay Rowdies. September the 26th at 7 o'clock. By the way, along with this Red Bulls 2 team, that is the only other team that has beaten the Indy 11 by 2 goals or more in a match this year. That was on July the 21st at Al Lang Stadium. Rowdies won 3-1.
And you were there.
I was.
You were there.
I've not been a good luck charm as a road fan for the Indy 11 the last couple of years. But it was a great experience. Ferreira. That'll be ruled as a throw-in coming here for the Indy 11. Road trips remaining for the Indy 11 to Penn FC, to Pittsburgh. The aforementioned trips to Louisville and Cincinnati. Laurel hadn't to do much this half. Able to pounce on that. Barlow. No goals in 32+ minutes here of this half.
I think you look, a lot of that can be, while philosophically the 11.
McInerney's onside.
Good ball.
Ring with the header. And McInerney didn't exactly size that one up the way he wanted to.
Collier was probably grateful that he wasn't going to have to make that 50-yard run. But you look at, philosophically, I think they still wanted to compete for second balls and still be good in the transition game. But one thing you haven't seen a lot of in the second half is Ferreira and Ouimet really getting forward like they did in the first half. And I think, hey, keeping your defensive shape with a 3-0 lead is critical.
Opportunity here. Inside of the 18. Aguinaga plays it across. And that's going to be a penalty. Or is it going to be a corner? Let's see what the call is going to be here.
I think it's a free kick just outside the box on the side.
They say Ferreira got it with an extended hand. And I thought he was inside of the box. Official says no, just outside. Let's take a look here. Man, it's close.
Ooh. We need a camera right on the 18 there.
The 11 might have caught a break on that. One more look here. Let's maybe give you the best angle from the opposing end zone shot. That's close.
Ew, boy, I can't even tell with that one.
Service sent in, then quickly cleared by the Indy 11. I think the offside flag went up anyway, so the Indy 11 will hit the reset button. Fans, you can download the official Indy 11 app now to be the first to receive breaking team news and highlights. Available on the app stores for Apple and Android devices. McInerney looking for the foul, didn't get the call.
Great recovery.
Ferreira.
Great cut. He's dead. He's just out of gas.
Barlow's onside. Collier stays down behind the plate.
Good serve.
White couldn't get there in time. Watson can. That actually deflects off a Red Bulls player. That'll be Indy 11 ball, and now you can go back and check on Collier behind the play. And I think Elliott would not mind waving the white flag on this one if given the opportunity.
Yeah, I think his mind saw a couple of good opportunities in that last possession, and his body just said, hey, we're going to take this one off.
Currently, this is the largest margin for the Indy 11 this year. They have not won a match by more than 2 goals this season. Watson trying to split a double team. And Loro knocks it back towards midfield.
Ouimet is so solid in the air.
Moses couldn't move it around Tenari. Good looking run here by the Red Bulls, but then a giveaway. There was no supporting run for Aguinaga.
And that's tough. The way that the Red Bulls play, they come as a unit. And so Aguinaga just assumed that he was going to have some wingman on his right side and pushed it out there. And a tough mistake in transition because you did have a good opportunity with some good numbers.
And Elliott Collier has taken a seat on the turf. And
great performance.
Yep.
Great performance.
I think Elliott has given it his all this evening for the Indy 11.
He has.
And for those outside of the Indy area watching this match, today's high temperature in the mid-90s. But there was enough of a threat of rain. The combination of that and potential thunderstorms later tonight has the roof closed here at Lucas Oil Stadium.
Can you even imagine this fast-paced game if that roof was closed and it was 90 out here?
The remnants of Suni Sa going to hop in, and you would assume it's for Elliott Collier. But the remnants of Tropical Storm Gordon combined with an oncoming cold front are leading to the forecast of rain for the part of the next 3 or 4 days here in the Indianapolis area. So we think today might knock on would be the last 90+ degree day that we're going to have. I think there have been 35 of them at this point here in the city of Indianapolis this year.
I'm ready. I'm done. I'm done with 90. I'm done with summer.
It's kind of like snow in April.
Yeah.
Enough. Moving on.
Come on.
Enough for Elliot Collier. He's moving to the bench as well as Suni Saad, who has not scored a goal for the Indy 11 since May the 30th. He scored against Red Bulls 2 last time. May look to add to that total here tonight. So the Indy 11 are done with their substitutions for the evening. Barlow. Both teams have been errant on their passes.
And the tough part is in this back and forth game with so many players pressing forward and bringing so many players back, your shape is not what you're used to. So when you win that ball, you know, your teammates and your support are not in the spaces where they normally are.
Red Bulls 2 not in action again until next Thursday when they take on Toronto FC 2. Barlow the lead. And that's going to be a foul again just outside of the 18. That is the 4th time we have uttered that comment tonight.
Yeah, the 11 have done enough to pull the 3 points tonight. And I believe that they've done enough to pull the clean sheet. But you keep giving the Red Bulls, this talented attacking team, looks just outside the box. And you're putting yourself with your back against the wall to keep that little bit. What is it? That'd be the 10th clean sheet for Fawn Williams.
Stroud, the player that drew the foul. Aguinaga and Lima standing over this one. They got a good look on their first ball in this scenario. That one doesn't get through.
Another solid wall.
McInerney, the player that got in the way for the Indy 11.
As a goalkeeper, you love it when your wall gives you such steady performance.
Really on those 4 set pieces from no more than 20 yards out. Only one ball has been threatening to Owain Fawn Williams.
Yeah, and that's the wall. The wall didn't move. The wall was the right size. They just played it perfectly.
Lima. Ring got a piece of that one. White, the player that was closest to it for Red Bulls 2. Mayers able to win that away. He's got Saad and a long distance ball.
Why not? If nothing else, just give your team a chance to breathe in the back and get your shape back.
Red Bulls 2 about to send their final substitution towards the 4th official. Barlow couldn't get it through. Russet has been outstanding defensively tonight. Mitchell helped to make that play as well. Left foot takes a deflection, and Fawn Williams was there.
Tough ball. You know, you think sometimes you see the slashing player from the Red Bulls coming on your left side, and you're like, I can try to hold this, but if I leave it, I'm going to leave it in his path. So sometimes it's best, even though it's kind of this ball you think you might be able to catch, just play it away. Give the corner, get set up, get your feet.
Nico De Vera will enter for the Red Bulls. Stauffer is done for the night. Lefty ball. Corner coming for Red Bulls 2. They're asking for a handball, won't get it. By the way, our final 5 minutes plus stoppage time presented by your Central Indiana Honda Dealers, official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. So we will not see Armando Moreno tonight for Red Bulls 2, their leading goal scorer of the season with 9. He's appeared in now 22 of their 29 matches this season. Another corner coming. A lot of time being taken right now, going from corner to corner by Red Bulls 2. Up and over the bar.
And the serves have not been bad. I mean, they've had opportunities. It's just you've got Mitchell and Russin who are playing so solid in the air today.
Indy 11 Soccer brought to you in part by Braden, Indy 11's preferred technology and office equipment provider. Visit them at BradenOnline.com. Braden technology that drives your business. The beard game is strong in the BYB this evening. You say that most nights. See what I mean?
I do. I do. But I don't need to see it. I mean, you tell me something, I'm in. I believe everything you say.
Mayers. Got there in time, but couldn't control it.
Oh.
And White, the player that goes down for Red Bulls 2. John Waliniak asking for a foul. You get a stoppage play. That was not intentional in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Just an unfortunate consequence. White played his college soccer at Duke. A foul called against Saad, not for the sliding tackle, but for the play before that. Quick restart for Red Bulls 2. And Fawn Williams is there. And now it is a point of pride for the Indy 11 and for Owen Fawn Williams leave at 0 on the board.
Right. They played so well in the back. I mean, and as good as this Red Bulls team is, and again, over the last 10 games, they're averaging 3 goals a game. And you can see it out here. The interplay and the connectivity inside the box and just outside the 18 is phenomenal. They take chances that you wouldn't expect. They play with such great pace. So this is a big achievement.
9 clean sheets for Owen this year.
Oh.
However,
what?
He has not had one at home since June 9th. Barlow trying to remedy that. That takes a deflection.
Like corner.
And corners in the double digits now for Red Bulls 2. Now's the time to change who's taking the corner for you, by the way. Short corner coming up here. Ball sent in.
Good
and
win.
Mitchell. And McInerney. Opportunity here. Saad the target. McInerney wants the ball in the opposite corner and gets it.
Oh my
McInerney
goodness.
with one touch.
A veteran touch.
Can get the second one to his liking.
Oh.
And a foul against Ferreira.
It's okay. You know, he's 20 yards up from his back line. Take the foul. Get a little bit of recovery. Tell you, impressive finish to this game for Seth Moses. I thought when he went down there was some cramps and he was probably not going to be able to finish, but his pace has been good. And
speaking of Seth, here's an opportunity. 4 minutes of added time to finish off this match. As the Indy 11 are trying to finish off their most decisive victory of the season. And Don. Over to Lima. Lima slides it through, but it doesn't get past O-line Fawn Williams.
You know what? Really well officiated moment there. There was the tangle up with Seth Moses where he got into it. I didn't see which player it was.
Lima plays it across left foot.
Oh. But the Red Bulls had a clear advantage in transition, and he gave a little talking to, motioned them, kept checking them, but allowed play to continue and didn't disrupt that disadvantage to stop play.
For a lot of the things the Indy 11 have done well tonight, there's been a lot of near misses by New York as well.
They've held. They have held.
Another corner coming. By the way, with this result, Indy temporarily vaults into 4th place in the Eastern Conference table, atop both Bethlehem and the Charleston Battery. They are level on points with the Battery at 45.
Wow.
Ricocheted in, but wide of frame.
Tell you, that's a second solid hit from Cutler from that outside right back spot.
Fawn Williams. We referenced this stat on Saturday night, but the top 6 keepers in terms of clean sheets in the USL all reside in the Eastern Conference.
Did you just see that?
I did.
Holy smokes. See a little bit of individual brilliance right there.
halfway through
there you go.
Stoppage time. And Owan will again take a little extra time. He'll assist the ball kid to go find the ball in the capo stand. Doesn't want her to get entangled down there. Always looking out for the safety of others.
So kind.
Two more home games for Indy 11 fans this regular season. 3 weeks from now, September the 26th, against the Tampa Bay Rowdies. The final Saturday night home game against the Bethlehem Steel on Saturday, October the 6th. This finishes up the 7-match in 22-day stretch. There's only one more kind of double-up week for the Indy 11 the rest of the season. They'll play 3 and 8 days to end September. All against quality competition. At Pittsburgh, home to Tampa Bay, and then at FC Cincinnati. Now, what will be intriguing about that match is that Cincinnati could easily have their playoff seed wrapped up by the time they get to that match in late September. As the FC Cincinnati squad on 60 points currently, 13 points clear of everybody else in the East.
Yeah, you'd be shocked to even assume that they're not going to be the 1 seed.
Closing seconds of this one. And Laura will have to make one more play on the ball. As impressive of a performance as the Indy 11 have had all season. All 3 goals in the first half, and all 3 points go the way of the Indy 11. Eugene Starikoff with a brace. Ryan Ferreira, his first with Indy 11 uniform. And Indy finishes this 7-match in 22-day gauntlet with 13 points. Pretty doggone good, given how you stack those matches up. 5-6
weeks ago, if you would have said, hey, we'll give you 10 points out of that 7, that would have felt pretty, a point and a half out of those games in that stretch would have felt pretty good. To come out like they have.
9 consecutive unbeaten for the Indy 11, and they reverse a 3-goal loss to this team on May 27th to a 3-goal win on Wednesday, September the 5th. Final thoughts when we come back as you're watching Indy 11 soccer.